We're here to acknowledge Teen Driver Safety Week. It's very important that we get our teens into safe driving as early as possible. Teen crashes are caused a lot by inexperience, distractions. So it's important that we just talk about safe driving and get our teens practicing those safe habits as soon as possible. We want to be very conversational with the teens because we want it to be a conversation rather than, a lecture. So to be able to address the questions that they have about safe driving habits, I think will be beneficial not only for them, but obviously for all of our roadway users. So graduated driver licensing laws have changed through the years, and it really has enhanced safety. One of the things that's now part of the driver licensing process is whenever a teen driver goes to get their license, there's a 6-month skill building, which means that they have to wait at least 6 months to take their road test before they can get licensed. And that's just to address the experience levels, make them more comfortable behind the wheel, and also make them safer drivers. For important safety tips, you can visit PennDOT's website. We have a lot of information out there for our teen drivers. We also have a parent's guide to supervised driving, which really helps the parent in making sure that their teen is prepared for the roads and can operate their vehicle in a safe manner.
I think the most important thing for kids in these types of scenarios is that they get the opportunity to ask the questions that are on their mind. Whether they were asking the questions to me or to the state trooper who was here, we had somebody from insurance who was present, anything that was on their mind about the complex task of driving, they could ask. One of the questions that I thought was really practical was, what do I do if I'm in an accident? And it's something that even the most seasoned driver or adults can panic about if they get into a fender bender or if they hit a deer or if something goes wrong with their car. What are you supposed to do? When are you supposed to get out of the car? What happens if in another circumstance, maybe you see the police lights coming up behind you and it's you that is supposed to pull over? Where should you do that? And they had all kinds of great questions and a couple of thoughtful things that I hadn't even thought about for quite a while. So I'm glad that they had the opportunity to ask what was on their mind and to leave with answers from the experts. One of the things that was talked about in there was a person who's going 70 miles an hour down the highway, and they look down for just 5 seconds, which is the amount of time it would take to type hello. How far have they actually gone? And what we learned was that they would go over a football field if they were driving 70 miles an hour down a highway, over a football field without their eyes on the road. And I think anytime we can have those really practical things to say to kids, we might be able to change their behavior. If they were able to, in advance, think, I'm going to put my phone on silent mode so that I don't hear the ring or I don't hear the notification that somebody's trying to text me, that might actually save their life. It's those small things that kids can do in advance that are actually going to make a difference.
Of course, with driving, with the excitement comes with the nerves. And I'm gonna be honest, I was pretty nervous about driving, but it really helped to have people who are up there who can actually help and answer my questions in real time instead of me having to look it up and read 20 articles about it later on. So it really helped. I really believe this helped a lot because it's the difference is that there are experts in the field. So these are people who have studied this and who are actually using this to help people. And it's really nice to hear from them, like that everything is going to be all right, that just make sure you do this and you do this, and you'll stay safe while driving. I can control myself, but I can't control everyone else. And that's why I asked that question, like, should I be scared? What should be my emotion? Because you never know what someone else is going to be on the road. So I guess you have to make sure you know what you're doing and you know all the rules and you know your rights so that you can be safe on the road.
And did today help with that?
100%.
That's very, very good to know that our answers were very, very helpful to her and probably everyone else in the room as well. And she's right. You not only have to be mindful of your driving ability and your know-how, but also be mindful and defensive of everybody else out on the road. Today's a great event. It allows this panel of experts to talk to young drivers and soon to be young drivers before they're out on the roads. It's really important to lay that foundation of education to ensure they know the laws and all of the applicable rules before they get those keys handed to them. So events like today helps us do just that. Distracted driving is something that's really important. It's a topic that we feel it's very important to hit with them, especially given the enactment of the Paul Miller's Law that we recently saw here in June. Paul Miller's Law is you can't have your phone at all. You can't be holding it, can't be operating it while you're behind the wheel. So it's really important that we educate these young drivers now before they get behind the wheel.
Complex activity. Drivers must put together multifaceted evaluations, make split-second decisions, and perform intricate maneuvers to keep themselves today. We have assembled a panel of experts who are here to answer your questions regarding safety. The panel ranges from law enforcement to education and training. We even have a member who will give you advice on how you and your parents can save lives.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Adam Reed. I'm captain with the Pennsylvania State Police, and I'm here to represent the law enforcement side. As young drivers, I hope that no one in this room or you
From the Pennsylvania AAA Federation, which is the state association of the American Automobile Association clubs in Pennsylvania. Following return
for distracted driving. Sure, very good question. I'm glad you brought that up because if somebody didn't, I was going to. So, distracted driving in Pennsylvania, at least the way the law is written, is a very, very wrong for any reason while you're driving in Pennsylvania. So that's super important to remember, and that's new and super important on the books. It's called Paul Miller's Law. So, again, as the driver,
I think this is one of my biggest fears. What should you do if like your car breaks down, especially like in a highway or someplace dangerous?
yeah, so if your car breaks down, so speeding, you see that in all ages, all age ranges. Speeding is a big cause of crash, but careless driving could be anything from falling to. You're going to want to put your four-ways on, and it's kind of the same guidance we give people in a snowstorm, for example. You get out of your car and not get out of your car. There's no hard and fast answer to that, unfortunately.
But it's still also very important that even though it's the law, you have to make good decisions as well. And that means keep that phone out of sight and out of reach.
Like in a certain age range or something.
Oh gosh. Adam, do you have any statistics on that? Because I do not. I do not have any in
Categories that we see.
And also one of the other leading types of crashes is a single vehicle run off the road crash is up there. And
Years, there were 78,000 crashes involving at least one 16 to 19-year-old in Pennsylvania. And of those 78,000 crashes, almost 500 involved a fatality. So.
To be distracted, talking to friends in the car, reaching out and get something, really just not having a mind on the task at hand. That's getting to your destination safely. On the distance, you see an emergency vehicle behind you, pulled over to the right side of the
What type of insurance is the best insurance for your car?
Like the insurance guy, huh? You know, it depends. If you can't move out of the way, I'd rather you hit the deer than a tree. The tree wins every time. Yes.
What is the difference between collision and comprehensive? What is that?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. So collision coverage would be if you have more car accidents, and that's just because you're learning and you're going through the process of being a new driver, and then it seems that it kind of dips a little bit, injuries because of the tree. So it's always hard to answer because nobody ever wants to hurt anything, but sometimes you have to make those tough choices. What other?
You may not have understood everything that can cause a distraction, which is, as John said, anything that can take your eyes off what's in front of you and your hands off the wheel. Or to maybe take that call or to read that text. It can happen in an instant. So I just wanted to.
Libraries. So there's a whole lot that goes on with the Department of Education. This is one piece of it. And any chance I get to be with young people and